The power of three will set you free, but will a reboot? The Charmed reboot has been the talk of 2018, but will you be watching? We know about three sisters whose names begin with P that won't. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Hit that notification bell to stay updated on newest videos, and don't forget to check our community feature. Now let's check out what's up with this Charmed reboot. Are reboots even successful? Before we dive in some other facts about the Charmed reboot, we should ask ourselves if reboots have actually ever been successful. Filmmakers often think of bringing back cult classics in an attempt to bring in the old fan base and give them something new and exciting. We've had quite a few TV show reboots over the past few years, and many did not live up to the hype. For example, Business Insider put the 2016 MacGyver reboot to the bottom of the list, claiming it's trying very hard to fit in. Series like Roseanne gave the audience mixed reactions as the cast turned highly political on and off camera. But many reboots such as Gilmore Girls, Queer Eye, Battlestar Galactica, and plenty more have turned out to be fan favorites. Don't even get us started on the fan outrage when they announced the Buffy reboot. Could Charmed make the list of successful reboots? Or will it come down crashing after its first season? There are way more factors to consider before we make the decision. Recycled plot. So what's Charmed all about anyway? Well, as it turns out, it's pretty much what a reboot stands for. In the original series, we get to know Prue, Piper, and Phoebe Halliwell, the three sisters that find themselves in their old childhood home. With the help of the Book of Shadows, a magic book located in the attic, they discover that they actually have magical superpowers. The original show was all about strong bonds of sisterhood, exploring the unknown, fighting everyday problems, and sticking together as family. The reboot looks like it'll inherit all those traits. It'll have a sensible eldest sister, the outspoken middle child, and the naive young college student. Just like in the original, one of the detective characters falls in love with the older sister, but it looks like this series will not have a white lighter. Instead, they'll have a professor who takes great interest in the three sisters. The plot also hints at a possible love triangle between the middle child, her ideal boyfriend, and a mysterious character. Oh, and their version of a big plot twist is turning one of the sisters gay. Promising too much? Fierce, funny, feminist reboot. At least that's what the CW television network is calling the series. Wait until you hear what the cast have to say. But it does make us wonder, were the original sisters not a tribute to feminism at all? It looks like the CW doesn't think so. TheMarySue.com did a fantastic breakdown whether or not the original Charmed can really claim the true description of a feminist TV show. Many comments are pointing out that although the series had a lot of potential, there was still a subtle mix of 90s cliches. By the looks of it, the Charmed reboot could have the potential of bringing us the feminist element that was lacking in the original series. But will this be a successful formula that will blend well and make sense to the audience? Or will they face the same try-too-hard criticism many reboots tend to get? But from the looks of it, the original cast are really not thrilled about this project, meaning the original fan base most likely won't be either. Exactly the same roles. The show will be using the same familiar format we've fallen in love with, but it looks like the new creators broke the rule that every Halliwell sister's name has to start with the letter P. So while the roles are exactly the same, the names aren't. We're introduced to Macy, Mel, and Maggie. This proves that the show is using the same formula, but will this formula attract today's audience? The thing is, their last name isn't Halliwell at all. Macy, the older sister, has a last name Vaughn, and Mel and Maggie's is Vera. Not a single Halliwell in sight. It's not really explained whether the older sister is actually married or not because of her different last name, but we have a feeling this will only add to the juicy drama. So far, it looks like the fans are skeptical whether or not this show will work. We'll really have to wait and see if the formula is good enough to keep the audience entertained throughout the entire first season. Totally new cast. Yup, not a single person from the old Charm team is coming back to give some guidance on this show. The 2018 show includes a brand new cast. Macy Vaughn is played by Madeline Mantock. Although Madeline could be seen in several TV series such as Casualty and The Tomorrow People, the Charmed reboot could be her big break. Melanie Diaz, who plays Mel on the show, has a slightly longer acting resume and has appeared in TV shows as well as movies. But Disney fans might be more familiar with Sarah Jeffrey, who played Audrey in the Descendants TV movie and Descendants Wicked World TV series. It might not be the actual movies, but it's still something. Now, the original Charmed actresses had slightly different resumes prior to the start of the show. Alyssa Milano had two major successes, first with the iconic Who's the Boss, and then moved on to Melrose Place. Holly Marie Combs was a part of Picket Fences, and Shannon Doherty had an extensive acting resume that included Little House on the Prairie, Our House, and of course the one and only Beverly Hills 90210. Will the Charmed newcomers have the acting chops and experience to compare with the old cast? Or will we have to sit through a couple of episodes before we'll get into the show? It will get political. Here's where Charmed could get complicated. The new series will be a politically charged version of the story that's actually meant to reflect our chaotic times. Whether or not this will involve talking about controversial presidents or looking at things from a culturally diverse standpoint, it will definitely bring a new layer to the show. Question is, will this layer turn out okay? A good example of a politically charged show that didn't really go well is Roseanne. We live in a day and age where many actors share their political opinions online, and in Roseanne's case, those opinions clashed with the majority. So much so, ABC actually canceled the entire show. On the other hand, Fuller House managed to perfectly balance political humor as the character Max shared many Donald Trump jokes with his one-liners. Let's not forget that this time the Charmed cast is much more culturally diverse too. But will the political point of view totally erase the extra magic the original show created by completely ignoring politics? With the rise of TV show characters having strong political opinions, this could be a hit or miss in the magical world. A real witch on board. Over the last few seasons of the original Charmed, Holly Marie Combs and Alyssa Milano both had a lot of say in how the show was going to look, as they were both listed as producers. Of course, alongside the show's brilliant creator, Constance M. Burge, this time around the production team is slightly different. Brad Silberling, Gina Rodriguez, and Michael A. Alowitz are all listed as the series directors. While Gina Rodriguez has been praised for her acting abilities, she hasn't really had much directing experience under her belt other than 2 episodes of Jane the Virgin. Brad Silberling has a much larger production resume, which includes Jane the Virgin and Dynasty. Meanwhile, Michael A. Alowitz directed The Vampire Diaries, The Flash, Supergirl, and several more shows. Could their powers combined really bring us a modern adaptation of Charmed with zero guidance from the previous team? Well, it turns out they actually do have some guidance. One of the writers on the team belongs to a real-life coven, even practicing spells and putting out energy toward goals he wants to accomplish. Nothing like telekinesis, but hey, he's only human. Fans' reactions weren't positive. We'll get into strong opinions from the cast in just a little bit, but first, let's talk about the people that made the original Charmed such an iconic show. A lot of the fans seem to be skeptical about the reboot's outcome, and we all know that having an audience is the most important part of the show, going on for more than just one season, right? So far, it looks like the majority of the OG Charmed fans just aren't on board enough to be really hyped about the reboot. Some fans are even pointing out that the show's tagline is Stronger Together, which already belongs to a show called Supergirl. And yep, it's on the same network, and it's even directed by one of the Charmed reboot directors. Others are pointing out that the Charmed reboot shouldn't even be called Charmed to begin with, since it doesn't really follow a strong enough format to resemble the OG show. Since having a strong fan base is key to having a successful show and a renewal for the second season, this could be another reason why Charmed might not make it past season 1. We're staying optimistic, but we're pretty sure the OG cast of the show are sharing the exact same feelings as the fans. Cast members are against it. Holly Marie Combs made it very clear how she feels about the show. But first, let's check out how some of the other Hallowell clan reacted to the reboot news. Alyssa Milano stated that she wishes the creator would come to them for some guidance from the beginning, even though she wishes them the very best of success. She also said that the series feels too close to her to have seen it being completely done. Shannon Doherty supported the idea, but argued that the producers shouldn't make it seem like the original show wasn't supporting feminism, though she did say that she's intrigued by the idea that the show could gain and inspire a totally new fan base. Rose McGowan indirectly tweeted about the show, saying that Hollywood is running out of ideas and that they are, in her words, lamersons. Those are some pretty mixed reactions, don't you think? All actresses have millions of followers, and with strong opinions like those, chances are the OG fans might not really get on board the whole Charmed reboot thing. Piper Halliwell disapproves. One person that disapproves the entire project of the reboot the most is without a doubt Holly Marie Combs. If you've been following her Twitter account, you know she's been incredibly vocal about this show from the moment it was announced. Holly said that the series is just capitalizing off the team's hard work by taking the name and completely rewriting the story without asking them for any advice. Holly also pointed out that she hopes the show is much better than the actual marketing done so far, as this will be the only way it'll be able to keep a fan base. She also said that reboots do better when the creators listen to the passionate fan base. And based on this extremely vocal fan base, it doesn't look like this will really go down well. Although Holly wishes the show well, she's extremely against it, which she pointed out in plenty of tweets. Or should we say, she's not exactly charmed by it, is she? Okay, yeah, horrible pun. We'll see ourselves out. But before we go, make sure you tell us what you think about the Charmed reboot in the comments below. And that's it for our video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.